Smoke is still rising from the burnt house. 3 men are on their knees, crying, hands on their heads. They know they made a big mistake. Behind them, a tall man in a black cloak is walking closer. His eyes are red. His fist is glowing with power. Everyone used to call the boy in the green hoodie weak. Everyone used to laugh at him and push him around. Nobody knew who he really was. Nobody knew who was coming for him. Today, that all changes. Today, the ones who hurt him will learn the truth. And it will be too late to run. Before we continue, tell us your name and where you are watching from in the comment section. Before we go deeper into this story, please tap that subscribe button and turn on the bell. We drop stories like this every week, and you don't want to miss what happens next. Now, let the story begin. There is a small town called Hollow Pines. It sits between tall pine trees and a gray river. If you drive through it, you might think nothing ever happens here. But something did happen here. Something that changed everything. His name is Kai. He is 25 years old. He has messy brown hair that never sits right, no matter how many times he tries to fix it. His eyes are a soft amber color, like tea left too long in the sun. He wears the same green hoodie almost every day. It has a small tear on the shoulder. He never bothers to fix it. Kai works at a small bookstore on Main Street. It is the kind of job nobody notices. He stacks books. He sweeps the floor. He smiles at customers even when they do not smile back. He has learned to make himself small. Small people do not get hurt as much. Every morning, Kai walks the same path to work. He passes the same coffee shop. He sees the same 3 men standing outside it. Their names are Trent, Dale, and Marcus. They grew up with Kai. They went to the same school, but somewhere along the way, they decided Kai was someone to laugh at. "Look who it is," Trent says every single morning. He says it like it is new, like he has not said it 100 times before. Kai keeps walking. He does not look up. He has learned that looking up only makes it worse. "Hey, we are talking to you," Dale says. He steps in front of Kai. Kai stops. His shoulders come up a little like a turtle pulling into its shell. "I have to get to work," Kai says quietly. Marcus laughs. It is not a kind laugh. "Work at the little bookshop, big man." They laugh together. Kai stands there and takes it. He always takes it. This is his life. This is what Hollow Pines has become for him, a place where 3 men decide his morning before it even starts. But here is something you should know about Kai. He was not always alone. Once, a long time ago, there was someone else. Someone who used to walk beside him on this very street. Someone whose name Kai does not say out loud anymore. That someone is Damien. Damien is 28 years old. If you saw him now, you would not believe he ever lived in a small town like Hollow Pines. He is tall, much taller than most men. His hair is black, dark as a crow's wing. His eyes are a deep, sharp red, the kind of red that makes people look away first. He wears a long black coat, the kind with gold buttons down the front, the kind that makes him look like he belongs somewhere important. Because he does. Damien is the Alpha King, not of Hollow Pines, of somewhere much bigger, somewhere with real power, real armies, real fear behind his name. People 3 towns over whisper his name like it might summon him if they say it too loud. But before all that, before the crown and the title and the coat with gold buttons, Damien was just a boy who lived 2 houses down from Kai. They grew up together. They caught frogs in the river together. They hid from thunderstorms under the same blanket. For years, Damien was the one person who made Hollow Pines feel safe for Kai. Then one day Damien left. No goodbye, no note, just gone. That was 8 years ago. Kai has not seen him since. Some nights Kai still looks at the empty house 2 doors down. The windows are dark now. Nobody lives there. Weeds grow tall in the yard. Kai wonders sometimes if Damien even remembers him. Probably not, he tells himself. Why would someone like that remember someone like me? What Kai does not know is this. Somewhere far from Hollow Pines, in a cold stone hall with high ceilings and long windows, Damien sits on a chair that is too big for one man. Advisors stand around him, talking about borders and treaties and things that matter to kingdoms. Damien nods when he is supposed to nod. He answers when he is supposed to answer. But his mind is somewhere else. It has been somewhere else for 8 years. He thinks about a small town with pine trees and a gray river. He thinks about a boy with messy brown hair who used to laugh so easily. He wonders if that boy still laughs like that. He wonders if leaving was the right choice, or if it was the biggest mistake of his life. Damien has power most men only dream about. He commands wolves who can level a forest in a single night. He speaks and kingdoms listen. But there is one thing his power cannot fix. It cannot turn back 8 years. It cannot undo the silence between two people who once shared everything. Back in Hollow Pines, the morning continues like it always does. Trent, Dale, and Marcus finally grow bored of Kai. They let him go. Kai walks the rest of the way to the bookstore with his head down and his hands in his pockets. Inside the shop, his boss, an older woman named Ruth, looks up from the counter. "You are late again," she says, but there is no anger in her voice. Just tiredness, the kind that comes from watching the same thing happen too many times. "Sorry," Kai says. He does not explain why. Ruth does not ask, she already knows why. The day passes slowly. Customers come and go. Kai stacks more books. He helps an old man find a novel about ships. He helps a little girl find a book about dragons. For a few small moments, Kai forgets about the coffee shop and the laughing and the tightness in his chest. Then evening comes and Kai walks home the same way he came. The coffee shop is empty now. Trent, Dale, and Marcus are gone for the day. Kai lets out a breath he did not know he was holding. He passes the old house, Damien's house. He always slows down here, even though he tells himself not to. The porch light has been broken for years. The paint is peeling off the door. Kai stops for a moment and looks at the dark windows. "I hope you are doing okay, wherever you are," he says quietly to no one. To the empty house. To the memory of a boy who used to sit on that porch with him and talk about nothing and everything at the same time. He does not know that far away in that cold stone hall, Damien has just stood up from his chair without warning. His advisors stop talking. They look at him confused. "My king," one of them asks, "is something wrong?" Damien does not answer right away. His red eyes are unfocused, like he is listening to something none of them can hear. Something pulling at him from somewhere far away. A feeling in his chest, sharp and sudden, like a string pulled tight after 8 years of slack. "Something is wrong," Damien finally says. His voice is low. Something is happening to him. The advisors exchange looks. They do not know who him is. They have never heard Damien speak like this before, not once in 8 years. "My king who?" "Prepare the horses," Damien says, cutting him off. "We leave for Hollow Pines tonight." The room goes still. Nobody dares to argue with him. Nobody ever does. But even his most loyal men can feel that something has shifted. The Alpha King, who has not spoken of his past in 8 years, who has never once mentioned a small town or a boy with brown hair, is finally going back. Back in Hollow Pines, Kai reaches his small apartment above the laundromat. He climbs the narrow stairs and lets himself in. The apartment is quiet and small, just like his life. He sits by the window and watches the sun go down over the pine trees. He does not know that 3 men are about to make a choice tomorrow that will change everything. He does not know that far away. A king with red eyes has just given an order that will bring him back to this town for the first time in 8 years. He does not know that his quiet, small life is about to end, and something much bigger is about to begin. All Kai knows, sitting there in the fading light, is that his chest feels a little tighter tonight, like something is coming, like the air itself is holding its breath. He does not know why, but somewhere deep down in a place he cannot explain, Kai feels it too. Morning comes to Hollow Pines the same way it always does. Gray light slips over the pine trees. Birds start their noise. Kai wakes up on his small bed above the laundromat and lies there for a moment, staring at the ceiling. His chest still feels tight, the same as last night. He does not know why. He tells himself it is nothing. Maybe he did not sleep well. Maybe he is just tired. He gets up, pulls on his green hoodie and heads down the narrow stairs. The street is quiet, too quiet almost. Kai walks past the closed shops, past the flower pots outside the bakery, past the bench where old Mr. Griggs usually sits with his coffee. Today the bench is empty. Kai does not think much of it. He keeps walking toward the bookstore. He turns the corner by the coffee shop and there they are. Trent, Dale, and Marcus, same spot, same three faces, but today something is different. Trent is holding something in his hand, a book. Kai's stomach drops when he sees it. It is not just any book. It is the leather journal Kai keeps under the counter at the store. The one Ruth gave him for his last birthday. The one where Kai writes down small things, thoughts, memories, things he never says out loud. "Is this yours?" Trent asks, holding it up. His voice is light, playful, like he is asking about the weather. Kai's heart starts pounding. "Where did you get that?" "Found it," Dale says, shrugging. "Must have fallen out of your bag yesterday." Kai knows that is a lie. He never brings the journal outside the shop. Someone went into the store. Someone took it. "Can I have it back?" Kai asks. He tries to keep his voice steady, but it shakes anyway. Trent flips it open. His eyes scan the page. A slow smile spreads across his face, the kind of smile that makes Kai's stomach turn to ice. "Oh, this is good," Trent says. "Marcus, you have to hear this." "No," Kai says. He steps forward, reaching for the book. "Please give it back." Trent steps back, holding the journal out of reach. He clears his throat and starts reading out loud, his voice mocking, stretching every word. It is a page about Damien, about the porch, about the thunderstorms, about missing someone so much it hurts to breathe some nights. Kai feels his face go hot. His eyes burn. He did not write those words for anyone else to hear. He wrote them at night alone when the silence in his apartment got too loud. Those words were his, only his. Wait, Marcus says, laughing. He still thinks about that guy, the one who left 8 years ago and never even said bye. Pathetic, Dale says, shaking his head, grinning. Give it back, Kai says again, louder this time. His hands are shaking. Something is rising in his chest, something he does not usually let show. Anger, maybe, or something close to it. Trent laughs and tosses the journal to Marcus. Marcus catches it and holds it high above his head, way above Kai's reach. Kai jumps for it. He is not tall enough. They all laugh harder. Come on, little Kai, jump higher, Marcus teases. People are starting to walk by now. A woman with a stroller slows down, watching. An old man by the newspaper stand glances over but says nothing. Nobody stops it. Nobody ever stops it. That is the part that hurts almost as much as the teasing itself. Kai stops jumping. He stands there breathing hard, fists clenched at his sides. Something in his eyes changes. Not anger exactly. Something more like exhaustion. 8 years of this. 8 years of small moments like this one, stacking on top of each other like stones. You know what, Kai says quietly, keep it. He turns and starts to walk away. His voice was steady when he said it, but his hands are still shaking. Wait, we are not done, Trent says, stepping in front of him again, blocking his path. Where is the fun in that? Move, Kai says. Or what? Dale asks, stepping closer too, so now Kai is boxed in on both sides. What are you going to do, Kai? There is a pause, a long one. Kai looks between them. He knows he cannot win this. He never can, so he does what he always does. He waits. He lets them have their moment, hoping it will be over soon. Marcus flips through the journal again, laughing at something else he reads. Then he stops. His face changes. He is looking at something on the last written page. Wait, Marcus says slowly. Is this about your dad? Kai's whole body goes still. His face drains of color. Give it to me, Kai says, and this time his voice cracks in the middle. I still hear his voice sometimes when I am alone, Marcus reads out loud, ignoring him. I know he is not coming back, I know that, but some nights I still. Stop it, Kai says. His voice is shaking badly now. His eyes are wet. He hates that they are wet. He hates that they can see it. Trent and Dale are not laughing anymore. Even they seem to sense they have gone somewhere they should not have gone. But Marcus keeps going, either because he does not notice or because he does not care. That is when it happens. A gust of wind sweeps down the street, sudden and strong, kicking up dust and leaves. It comes from nowhere. The sky, which was clear a moment ago, darkens slightly, like a cloud passed in front of the sun, except there is no cloud. Everyone on the street stops what they are doing. Marcus lowers the journal. Trent and Dale look around, confused. Even Kai, through his tears, looks up. Somewhere far off, past the edge of town, there is a sound. Low and deep, almost like thunder, except it does not fade. It grows. What was that? Dale asks, his voice suddenly small. Nobody answers. The wind picks up again, stronger this time, rattling the coffee shop sign above their heads. Marcus's grip on the journal loosens without him noticing. Kai wipes his eyes with the back of his hand. Something about the air feels different now. Heavy. Like right before a storm, except there is still no cloud in the sky. I do not like this, Trent mutters, backing up a step. The low sound in the distance grows louder. It is not thunder. Kai realizes that now. It sounds more like something running, something big, something moving fast, and it is getting closer. People on the street start looking around, unsure what to do. A shop owner steps outside, shielding her eyes, looking down the road that leads out of town. Whatever this is, it is coming from that direction. The direction of the old highway. The direction that leads to the bigger cities, to places far from hollow pines. Kai feels his heart pounding, but not from fear of Trent and Dale and Marcus anymore. Something else has taken over. That tightness in his chest from last night is back, stronger now, pulling at him like a rope. Marcus finally seems to remember he is holding the journal. He looks down at it, then at Kai, his face unsure now, like the fun has drained out of the moment completely. Here, Marcus says quietly, holding it out. Kai does not move to take it right away. He is staring past Marcus. Down the road toward the sound. Something is coming. The ground actually trembles a little now, faint but real, like heavy footsteps far away multiplied by many. The coffee shop sign swings hard on its hinges. A few people start pulling out their phones, recording, unsure what else to do. Others start backing toward their doors. Kai, Dale says, and for the first time his voice does not sound like it is teasing. It sounds nervous. What is that? Kai does not answer because he does not know. But some small part of him, deep down in that place he cannot explain, feels like he already knows. Feels like this has happened before, in dreams maybe, or in memories so old he forgot he had them. The sound is close now, close enough that people start running for cover. Trent grabs Dale's arm and pulls him back. Marcus drops the journal completely, forgotten, and stumbles backward. Only Kai stays still. Because right at that moment, at the far end of the street, past the coffee shop and the flower pots and the bench where Mr. Griggs usually sits, something steps into view. A figure, tall, taller than anyone Kai has ever seen, wrapped in a long black coat that moves like it has a will of its own. And even from this distance, even with the morning sun behind him, Kai can see two things clearly. Black hair, and eyes that glow red. Kai's breath catches in his throat. His knees feel weak. The journal lies forgotten in the dirt beside him. Every sound around him fades into a dull hum, like the whole world just went quiet except for the pounding of his own heart. It cannot be. It has been 8 years. It cannot possibly be him. But some part of Kai, the part that used to sit on that porch during thunderstorms, the part that never fully stopped hopping, already knows the answer before his mind can catch up. He is here. After 8 years of silence, after 8 years of empty windows and broken porch lights, Damien is standing at the end of the street, looking straight at him. And nothing in Hollow Pines will ever be the same again. Damien walks down the street like the whole world is waiting for him, because in a way, it is. Every step he takes is slow and heavy, like he wants this moment to last, like he has waited 8 years just to walk this exact path one more time. Kai cannot move. His feet feel stuck to the ground. His mind is racing, trying to catch up with what his eyes are telling him. This is not possible. People do not just show up after 8 years looking like this. Looking like something out of a story, not out of Hollow Pines. Trent, Dale, and Marcus back away slowly, moving closer to the coffee shop wall, trying to make themselves small. They do not know who this man is, but every instinct in their bodies is telling them to be afraid. Damien stops a few feet from Kai. Up close, he is even taller than Kai remembered. His red eyes are locked on Kai's face, studying him, like he is trying to make sure this is real too. Kai, Damien says. His voice is deeper than it used to be, rougher, like it has carried the weight of many hard years. Kai opens his mouth, but nothing comes out. His eyes are filling with tears again, but this time it has nothing to do with Trent or Dale or Marcus. "You are really here," Kai finally manages to say. His voice comes out small, almost like a question. "I am here," Damien says. For a moment, neither of them says anything else. The street is silent except for the wind still moving through the trees. Even Trent, Dale, and Marcus stay quiet, watching from the side, not sure what they are witnessing. Then Damien's eyes move down to the leather journal still lying in the dirt near Kai's feet. He looks at it for a long moment. Then his gaze lifts, slowly, toward Trent, Dale, and Marcus. Something in his face changes. Kai feels it before he understands it. The air gets heavier again, the same way it did a few minutes ago, right before Damien appeared. Except now it feels different, sharper. Kai looks at Damien's hands and sees them curling slowly into fists. "Who did this?" Damien asks. His voice is quiet, but it carries down the street like a shout. Nobody answers. Trent, Dale, and Marcus press themselves further against the coffee shop wall. "I asked a question," Damien says, and this time there is something underneath his words, something low and rumbling, almost like a growl that a human throat should not be able to make. "It was nothing," Kai says quickly, stepping slightly in front of Damien, trying to calm the air between them. "It does not matter, Damien, please." "It matters to me," Damien says, and his red eyes do not move away from the three men. This is when Kai notices something he missed before. Small marks along Damien's knuckles, old scars, the kind that come from years of fighting, not from years of sitting behind a desk somewhere safe. This is not the same boy who used to sit with him on the porch. This is someone who has lived a very different life these past 8 years. "Damien," Kai says again, softer this time, placing a hand lightly on his arm. "Please, not here." For a moment, Damien does not move. His whole body is tense, coiled tight like something ready to snap. Then slowly he exhales. The tightness in the air eases just slightly. "Not here," Damien repeats, like he is agreeing, but his eyes stay fixed on Trent, Dale, and Marcus a moment longer, and the message in that look is clear enough without any words needed. The three men do not wait around to see what happens next. They mumble something that might be an apology, or might just be nervous noise, and hurry away down the street, not looking back once. Kai lets out a breath he did not know he was holding. He bends down and picks up the journal from the dirt, brushing it off gently, holding it against his chest. "You did not have to do that," Kai says quietly. "I did," Damien says. "You do not know what I have seen these past 8 years, Kai. I know the difference between people who tease and people who tear someone down on purpose. That was not teasing." Kai does not answer right away. He looks down at the journal in his hands. Then he looks back up at Damien, studying his face properly for the first time. There is so much he wants to ask. Where did you go? Why did you leave without saying goodbye? Why now, after 8 years, are you standing in front of me again? But before he can ask any of it, Damien speaks first. Can we walk? Damien asks. There is a lot I need to tell you. Kai nods, even though his heart is pounding so hard he can barely think straight. They start walking, side by side, down the same street Kai has walked alone for 8 years. It feels strange having someone beside him again. Strange, but not bad at all. They walk past the bakery, past the bench where Mr. Griggs sits again now, watching them with wide, curious eyes. They walk past the old highway sign, and eventually the town starts to thin out, giving way to quiet fields and tall pine trees. I did not leave because I wanted to, Damien says finally, breaking the silence. I left because I had no choice. Kai looks at him, waiting. My father died, Damien continues. His voice is steady, but there is something underneath it, something old and tired. The night before I left, Kai, I did not even get the chance to process it myself before everything changed. I was told I had to leave immediately to take his place, to protect our people from threats that were already moving against us. There was no time for goodbyes. There was no time for anything. Kai's chest tightens. You could have told me later, you could have written, called, anything. I wanted to, Damien says. Every single day I wanted to. But where I went, Kai, it was not safe. Enemies of my father were looking for any weakness they could use against me. If they had known about you, about how much you mattered to me, they would have used you to hurt me. I could not risk that. I told myself staying silent was protecting you. Kai stops walking. Damien stops too, turning to face him. Protecting me, Kai repeats, his voice shaking slightly. Do you know what these past 8 years have been like for me? Do you know what people here say about me because you left without a word? They think you just abandoned me. They think I was not even worth a goodbye. I know, Damien says, and for the first time his voice cracks slightly. I have thought about this every single day since I left. I told myself it was the right choice, but some nights I was not sure anymore. Kai looks away, blinking hard, trying to keep himself from crying again. Why now? Kai asks quietly. Why come back now after 8 years? Damien is quiet for a long moment before he answers. Because last night I felt something, a pull right here. He places a hand over his chest. I have never felt anything like it before. It felt like something was wrong, like you needed me. I could not ignore it, Kai. I have never been able to ignore anything connected to you. Kai's breath catches. He does not fully understand what Damien means, not yet, but something about the way he says it makes Kai's whole body go still. There is something else, Damien says slowly. Something I need to explain to you, something about what I am and what that means for you. Kai looks up at him, confused. What do you mean? Damien hesitates. This is the part he has been dreading since the moment he decided to come back. He takes a breath. Where I come from, Damien begins, there are people like me. We are not exactly like everyone else. We have abilities, strength, instincts that go beyond normal human limits. My father was one of us. Now I carry that same responsibility. Kai stares at him, trying to process the words. Part of him wants to laugh, to say this sounds like something out of a movie. But then he remembers the glowing energy around Damien's fist earlier, the way the ground seemed to shake with his footsteps, the way 3 grown men went pale with fear just from his presence. Are you saying you are not human? Kai asks slowly. Not exactly, Damien says. I am something more, something older. Before Kai can respond, a low growl echoes from somewhere in the trees nearby. Both of them turn toward the sound. Kai feels the hair on his arms stand up. Stay behind me, Damien says immediately. His whole posture shifting, sharpening like a switch has been flipped inside him. What is that? Kai whispers. Trouble that followed me here, Damien says, his red eyes scanning the tree line carefully. I was afraid of this. The growl comes again, closer this time, and from the shadows between the trees, eyes begin to appear. Not one pair, several. Kai's heart pounds in his chest. Whatever is coming out of those trees, he can tell just by looking at Damien's face that this is not something small. This is something dangerous. And somehow, impossibly, Kai understands that whatever happens next is connected to him too. The eyes in the trees do not blink. They stay fixed on Damien and Kai, unmoving, waiting. Kai counts 4 pairs, then 5, then stops counting because his hands are shaking too much. Damien, Kai whispers, "What is that?" "Rogue wolves," Damien says quietly, not taking his eyes off the trees. "Men who used to serve under my father. When he died, some of them refused to follow me. They wanted power for themselves instead." "They followed you here." "They have been tracking me for weeks," Damien says. "I thought I lost them 2 towns back. I was wrong." A branch snaps somewhere in the shadows. Kai flinches. Damien's arm presses back slightly harder against him, keeping him in place. "Why are they here now?" Kai asks. "Why not attack you before?" Damien's jaw tightens. "Because now they know something they did not know before." "What?" Damien does not answer right away. His red eyes flick toward Kai for just a second, full of something that looks almost like guilt. "They know about you," Damien finally says. "The moment I felt that pull last night, the moment I reacted the way I did, it told them everything. It told them I have someone who matters to me, someone they can use." Kai's stomach drops. "Use me for what?" "To control me," Damien says. "To make me do whatever they want or watch them hurt you instead." Before Kai can respond, a low voice comes from the trees. A man steps out from the shadows, tall but not as tall as Damien, with gray streaks running through dark hair and cold, calculating eyes. Behind him, more shapes shift in the darkness, staying just out of full view. "Your Majesty," the man says, his voice dripping with false respect. "It has been a long chase." "Rurik," Damien says, his voice low and hard. "I told you this ends now." "It will end," Rurik says, smiling slightly. "Just not the way you think." His eyes move past Damien, landing directly on Kai. "So this is him, the one who made you careless enough to slip up." Kai feels his blood turn cold under that gaze. "Do not look at him," Damien says, stepping fully in front of Kai now, blocking him completely from view. Rurik laughs, low and unbothered. 8 years you hid this weakness from everyone, my king. 8 years and one small town brought it right back out of you. Pathetic, really." "You will not touch him," Damien says. "I do not need to touch him," Rurik says. "I just need him alive, somewhere close, somewhere you can see. That will be enough to make you kneel." More shapes step out from the trees now, 6 men total, spreading out slowly, forming a loose half-circle around Damien and Kai. Kai's heart is hammering so hard he can feel it in his throat. He has never been this afraid in his entire life, not even close. "Kai," Damien says quietly without turning around. "Whatever happens next, do not run. Running will only make them chase you. Stay close to me." "Okay," Kai whispers, though every instinct in his body is screaming at him to run anyway. Rurik raises one hand slowly. The men around him tense, ready to move on his signal. Kai watches Damien's shoulders, sees the way his whole body has gone perfectly still, coiled and ready, like something about to be released. "Last chance, my king," Rurik says. "Step aside. Let us take him. Swear loyalty to us instead of that empty throne, and this can end peacefully." "You already know my answer," Damien says. Rurik's hand drops. What happens next moves so fast that Kai barely has time to process it. 2 men lunge forward from the left side. Damien turns, faster than Kai's eyes can follow, and meets them head-on. There is a burst of golden light, sharp and blinding for a second, and both men are thrown backward, landing hard in the dirt several feet away, groaning but alive. Kai stumbles back, pressing himself against a tree, watching in stunned silence. This is not the Damien he remembers from 8 years ago. This is someone else entirely, someone powerful and controlled, someone who moves like the fight is second nature to him. Another man circles around from the right, trying to get behind Damien while he is still recovering from the first strike. Kai sees it happening before Damien does. "Behind you," Kai shouts. Damien turns just in time, catching the man's arm mid-swing, twisting it back with a sharp motion that sends the attacker crumbling to his knees, crying out in pain but nothing worse. Rurik watches from a distance, his calm expression starting to crack slightly, replaced by something more frustrated. "Enough games," he mutters, and this time he moves himself, faster than the others, aiming not at Damien but directly toward Kai. Kai's whole body freezes as Rurik closes the distance in seconds. He does not even have time to move before a hand grips his arm, hard, pulling him away from the tree. "Kai," Damien's voice cuts through the air, sharp with panic Kai has never heard from him before. Damien moves like lightning, closing the gap between them in an instant. He grabs Rurik's wrist before it can pull Kai any further, twisting it with enough force that Rurik lets go with a hiss of pain, stumbling backward. "You do not touch him," Damien says, and his voice is not just angry now, it is something deeper, something that makes the ground beneath them tremble slightly. His eyes, already red, seem to glow brighter, and for a moment, Kai swears he sees something shift in Damien's face, something less human and more powerful underneath. Rurik backs away, clutching his wrist, his earlier confidence draining from his expression. He looks around at his remaining men, most of them already on the ground, groaning, defeated. "This is not over," Rurik says, though his voice sounds far less certain than before. "It is over," Damien says. "You lost the moment you decided to come near him." Rurik hesitates for one more second, glancing between Damien and Kai, before finally turning and disappearing back into the tree line, his remaining men limping after him, dragging their injured along with them. Silence falls over the field again. Kai stands there, breathing hard, his whole body shaking, not fully able to believe what he just witnessed. Damien turns to him immediately, his expression shifting from fury to something softer, something worried. "Are you hurt?" Damien asks, closing the distance between them, his hands coming up to check Kai's arms, his shoulders, anywhere Rurik might have grabbed him. "I am okay," Kai says, though his voice is shaking. "I am okay, Damien." Damien lets out a breath, his shoulders dropping slightly with relief. For a long moment, neither of them says anything. They just stand there, close together, both trying to steady their breathing. "I am sorry," Damien finally says. "I never wanted you anywhere near this, any of this." "You saved me," Kai says quietly. "I almost was not fast enough," Damien says, and there is something raw in his voice, something that sounds like real fear. "If he had gotten you, even a few seconds sooner." "But he did not," Kai says, reaching up and placing a hand gently on Damien's arm. "You were there. You are always going to be fast enough. I believe that." Damien looks down at him, something shifting behind his red eyes, something warm replacing the fear that was there moments ago. "Kai, there is something I need to tell you," Damien says slowly. "That pull I felt last night, the one that brought me back here, it is not just some feeling. It has a name among my people. It means something specific, something I have never told you about before." Kai looks up at him, waiting, his heart still racing but for an entirely different reason now. "You are my fated mate," Damien says quietly. "It means my heart, my instincts. Everything in me chose you a long time ago, even before I understood what that meant. It is why I felt you in danger last night from so far away. It is why I could not stay away, no matter what it cost me." Kai's breath catches. For a moment, he cannot find any words at all. "I should have told you years ago," Damien continues. "I was afraid of what it meant, afraid of putting you in danger, afraid you would not want this life at all. But watching Rurik almost take you today, I realized hiding it does not protect you. It just leaves you unprotected without even knowing what is happening around you. Kai looks down at the ground for a moment, processing everything, the fear, the fight, the words Damien just said. Then he looks back up, meeting Damien's eyes directly. "I do not care about kings or wolves or any of it," Kai says. "I just care that you came back. That is enough for me." Damien reaches up slowly, cupping the side of Kai's face gently, like he is afraid this moment might disappear if he moves too fast. "I am not leaving again," Damien says. "Not without you this time." For the first time in 8 years, standing in that quiet field with the trees swaying softly around them, Kai finally feels something he has not felt in a very long time. He feels safe. 3 weeks pass after that day in the field. Hollow Pines looks the same on the outside. The pine trees still stand tall along the river. The bakery still opens at 7 every morning. But inside the town, something has quietly shifted, and nobody can quite explain why. Kai still walks to work every morning, but now he does not walk alone. Damien walks beside him, close enough that their shoulders sometimes brush together. He did not go back to that cold stone hall right away. He sent word instead, telling his advisors he needed time, that some things mattered more than borders and treaties for a little while. They turned the corner by the coffee shop, the same corner where everything changed 3 weeks ago. Trent, Dale, and Marcus are not standing there anymore. They have not stood there since that morning. Word travels fast in a small town, and word about what happened in that field spread faster than most things ever do in Hollow Pines. "You keep looking over there," Damien says, noticing the way Kai's eyes flick toward the empty spot by the coffee shop. "Old habit," Kai says, a small smile pulling at the corner of his mouth. "I guess I am still getting used to it being empty." "Does it bother you that they stopped?" Damien asks. Kai thinks about it for a moment. "No," he finally says. "It feels strange but not bad, just quiet, good quiet." They keep walking past the bakery, past Mr. Griggs on his bench, who waves at them now every single morning without fail. Kai waves back. Small changes, Kai thinks. Small changes that feel bigger than they should. They reach the bookstore, and Ruth is already at the counter, arranging a new shipment of books. She looks up and smiles when she sees them. "You are on time today," she says to Kai, raising an eyebrow. "I had help getting out the door," Kai says, glancing at Damien. "I can see that," Ruth says, looking Damien up and down with open curiosity. She still does not know everything about him, not the kingdom, not the wolves, not any of it. She just knows he showed up one day and Kai has not stopped smiling as much since. That is enough for her. Kai starts his shift, stacking new books along the shelves, the same simple work he has done for years. Except now, every so often he glances toward the window, where Damien sits on the small bench outside, waiting, sometimes reading, sometimes just watching the street. It is a small thing, having someone waiting for him. But after 8 years of empty windows and quiet apartments, small things feel like everything. At lunch, they walk down to the river, the same river Kai and Damien used to play near as kids. They sit on the grass, the sound of water moving gently beside them. "Rurik has not tried anything since that day," Damien says, breaking the comfortable silence between them. "Do you think he will?" Kai asks. Damien considers this. "I do not know, but my men are stronger now, more prepared. I sent word back home, explained everything that happened. My advisors understand now why I left so suddenly. They are watching the borders closely. If he comes again, we will be ready. And if he comes here again, to Hollow Pines." Damien reaches over, taking Kai's hand gently. "Then he will have to go through me first, and this time I know what is coming. I will not be caught off guard again." Kai squeezes his hand back. 3 weeks ago, the idea of danger following him, of wolves and kings and fights in open fields, would have terrified him completely. Some part of it still does. but sitting here by the river with Damien beside him, it feels less like fear and more like something he can face, as long as he does not have to face it alone. "Can I ask you something?" Kai says after a while. "Anything," Damien says. "What happens now? With your kingdom, I mean. You cannot stay in Hollow Pines forever, can you?" Damien is quiet for a moment, looking out at the water. "No," he admits. "Eventually, I will need to go back. There are responsibilities waiting for me there, things only I can handle." Kai nods slowly, trying to keep the disappointment off his face, though he is not sure he succeeds. But Damien continues, turning to face him fully. "I am not going without you this time. Not again. I already lost 8 years doing this the wrong way, thinking I was protecting you by staying silent. I will not make that mistake twice." "You want me to come with you?" Kai asks, surprised. "If you want to," Damien says carefully. "I know it is a big change. Leaving Hollow Pines, leaving Ruth, leaving everything you know. I am not asking you to decide right now, but I want you to know the option is there. Wherever I go, I want you there too." Kai looks down at their joined hands, thinking about everything: the bookstore, Ruth, this small town he has lived in his whole life. Then he thinks about 8 years of empty windows, of walking alone every single day, of writing his feelings into a journal because there was nobody left to say them to out loud. "I need some time to think about it properly," Kai says honestly. "But I think, deep down, I already know my answer." Damien smiles, soft and genuine, the kind of smile Kai remembers from when they were kids, before kingdoms and titles and 8 years of silence got in the way. "Take all the time you need," Damien says. "I am not going anywhere without you." 2 months later, Kai stands in his small apartment above the laundromat, looking around at the empty space. Boxes are stacked near the door, most of his things already packed away. Ruth helped him pack the last few boxes yesterday, crying a little, though she tried to hide it, telling him she always knew this day would come eventually. "You better write," Ruth had said, hugging him tightly. "Actual letters, Kai, not just texts." "I promise," Kai told her, and he meant it. Now, standing in the quiet apartment one last time, Kai feels a mix of things. Sadness for the life he is leaving behind, but something bigger too, something like hope, something like excitement for whatever comes next. Downstairs, Damien is waiting with a car, ready to take them toward a new chapter, toward a kingdom Kai has never seen, toward a future neither of them fully understands yet, but one they are choosing to walk into together. Kai takes one last look around the small apartment, at the window where he used to sit and watch the sun go down, at the walls that held 8 years of quiet loneliness. Then he picks up his last box and heads down the stairs. Outside, Damien is leaning against the car, and when he sees Kai coming down, his whole face lights up in a way that still catches Kai off guard sometimes, like he cannot quite believe someone can look at him like that after everything. "Ready?" Damien asks. Kai looks back once more at Hollow Pines, at the small town that shaped him, hurt him, and eventually, somehow, brought him back to the person he was always meant to be with. "Ready?" Kai says. They load the last box into the car together. Before they leave, they pass by the old street one final time, the same street where Trent, Dale, and Marcus used to wait every morning, the same street where Damien walked back into Kai's life after 8 long years. The street looks different now, not because it changed, but because Kai sees it differently. It is no longer a place of small daily pain. It is the place where everything started to change for the better. As the car pulls out of Hollow Pines, Kai looks over at Damien, who reaches over without looking away from the road, taking Kai's hand gently in his. "No more empty windows," Damien says quietly. "No more empty windows," Kai repeats, smiling. Somewhere behind them, Hollow Pines grows smaller in the mirror, its pine trees and gray river fading into the distance. But for the first time in a very long time, Kai does not feel like he is leaving something behind. He feels like he is finally, truly moving forward. If you enjoyed this story, do not forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more stories just like this one. We share new stories every single week, so make sure that bell notification is turned on so you never miss the next one. Thank you so much for watching until the very end, and we will see you in the next story. Lesson from this story: staying quiet to protect someone you love can sometimes hurt them more than the truth ever could.